Just eat less. This is a product of magical thinking. The idea that you're going to wake up one day for the rest of your life and just decide you're going to eat less and your brain is not going to push back on that is so funny to me, if it wasn't so tragic, that people are walking around thinking that they can do this to themselves and that that is going to fix the problem. I do understand you have to eat less to lose weight, but there's way better ways to accomplish that that actually make you feel good and nourished and keep your brain happy. But if your brain is pushing back on you, which I would say from my experience with my members, about 2 weeks into a diet is when your brain really starts pushing back on you. And if you are trying to make that work, you are employing magical thinking. That is, and I understand it's not a criticism. That's the way that weight loss is presented in culture, is through dieting. So if you've been trying to make that work over and over again, I get it. But it's magical thinking that you can just suppress your eating artificially. And some of the ways that that's done, let's talk about some of the ways that that's done. It's in my workshop, I talk about this as being a pot of boiling water. Okay. And there's a fire and it's raging. The pot is raging. And instead of turning down the flame, what we do is put a big heavy lid on it. But the flame is still going, which is all the things that are triggering your eating, right? They're going and going and going. And how long is that lid going to last? And that lid looks like counting calories, right? That lid looks like, for some people, fasting. Now, the only thing I'll say about fasting is if this is something you want to do for the whole of your life, awesome, get after it. But for most people, what they think of is, I'm going to do this thing that's really painful for a while, and then I'm going to have this result, and then I'm going to move forward, and that it's going to be great. And that never happens. So fasting is another one that uses time to restrict your eating. That's it. That's all fasting is. It's a time restricted method of holding your eating down. And eating carbs is or not eating carbs is another one. I can't live without carbs, so I don't know what to tell you on that one. There are some people who can make that work for the long term. Again, this is a very small amount of people. And I personally and I think most people, to be honest, really do want carbs back in their lives. They just would like to stop being afraid of them, which is an entirely doable thing to do.